Podcast Studios. This is the award-winning After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Powered by Tony Johal, broker at RE/MAX Twin City. Your home sold guaranteed, or he'll buy it.
Happy motherfucking Friday!
Are you ready to motherfucking party, or what are you doing?
Yes, I am. Actually, I'm glad you asked. You're fucking right, I am.
We're on vacation for part of next week, everybody, just so you know. But we did want to get a Friday edition in for you. And there's a lot to celebrate this weekend. We will talk about that. And we're going to... we welcome Dave Blizzard. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Oh, hello there.
I saw you, I think, for the second time in a year and a half on Wednesday.
Yeah, that was weird, right?
Uh-huh.
That was great.
It felt normal, didn't it? It felt like we were doing a thing that we should have always been doing, interacting with people, but it just wasn't safe to do before, they say. So we had to wait until now, and I had a good time.
Yeah, so did I. It was really good to see people again. It did feel weird at the beginning, where you kind of sit down and you do quietly, but you do a little scope around, like, are we okay? Are we distanced okay? Are we
Is bylaw coming?
Yeah,
HR
like,
watching?
Are we an appropriate amount of space away? Like, all that stuff comes into your head, and even if it just goes in and out really quickly, you still think about it. You're like, are these tables too close? Are the other tables too close? Like, you think about all those things. But it was awesome. Yeah, it was really good to see people outside of the typical bubble, I guess. And no offense to those in the bubble, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's nice to see other people.
It's true.
It was weird because I did go in to pay, and I used the sanitizer there at Waterloo Brewing, and not all sanitizers are the same, guys.
No.
Just so you know, not all sanitizers are the same. I think we all are used to the simplicity of Purell. You put it in your hands, you rub your hands together, and boom, they're clean. The one that they had at the brewery was very almost like soap based. So when I put it on my hands, it was, imagine having like liquid soap from a public bathroom, but no water to wash it off. And I thought, do I keep fucking rubbing it in? And I did keep rubbing it in, thinking that would go away. And then it just looked like I had a handful of cum.
Dave and I saw the whole thing. We saw it all go down. You were rubbing and rubbing like nothing was seeping into your skin.
Yeah.
Nothing was being absorbed.
It just created a lather. Like it just kept going.
I'm pretty certain it was soap. Like, I think somebody put that in the wrong container.
Well, that's what happens when a brewer makes their own sanitizer. Right? But yeah, they have a sign over the sanitizer that says it's a little bit liquidy. But yeah, like, I don't know if you were just like just too rigorous in your attempt to get it to seep into your skin.
6 pumps, didn't you? Don't lie.
Yeah, there was probably extra pumps. That wasn't an appropriate amount, was it?
I thought I used a regular amount, but I mean, as I'm rubbing my hands together, you're right, it was lathering. And then Kat, with something that I assume most women know, but most men don't, Kat hands me a whole bunch of like Kleenexes or something. And it all just stuck to my hands.
It stuck to his hands.
It looked like
get it off.
It looked like Scott's hands looked like, you know, when guys would shave and they'd get a nick and they'd put a little piece of toilet paper over it to stop the bleeding. Scott's hands looked like they were all cut, like he had taken a butcher knife to his hands. It was so bad. He looked like a mummy was unraveling. Like he had his napkins sticking off his skin, like.
He was grabbing a piece of napkin and like blowing it off. Like, I'm like, don't do that. You're over the table.
Well, what was amazing about that is, so he blows it off his hand, and by some miracle of nature, it would blow around and go back and like stick to the other side of his hand. You know how some people say like the vaccines make you magnetic? Well, I think that the sanitizer is magnetic, and it just brought all of the non-magnetic napkin back to his skin. It was incredible.
It was fucked up.
It was like a science class right in front of us, and none of us could figure out what was happening.
It was funny.
Like just watching it going, hey, how are your hands worse now?
What is happening?
2 minutes have gone by, and they're worse. What happened?
You were better off not sanitizing yourself.
I am certain he overpumped, and then that was just the beginning of the end. Because he couldn't, it didn't dry up. Like he had so much sanitizer on his hands, he didn't let it dry before he got the napkin involved, which was a terrible suggestion, by the way, Kat. I blame you for that.
She knew that was going to happen. She fucking knew. She's used paper towels to clean herself up a few times before. I don't doubt that for a second.
And you know what? I got to admit now. So you did make a quick reference to it a second ago, where you said women will know what you're talking about with like little bits of paper and things. And I didn't get that at first when you made that reference the other night.
The other night you didn't get it?
I was like, why would women know that? And I was thinking about it, and then it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, that's okay. When they're wiping down there, that's what, and like, I didn't want to say that out loud because I was going to sound like an idiot, but I was like, now I get it.
Even when I said, whatever you do, don't get that shit in your hair. It doesn't come out.
That was the line. Kat said,
don't. Like.
Yeah, Kat said, don't get that shit in your hair. And I was like, why would women put that in their hair?
Your wife and I were both laughing.
They were, yeah. And one of the few times I was like, I don't get it, guys. You know, I kept it to myself because I didn't want to feel like an idiot.
When the light bulb went off, you kept it to yourself?
Totally did. I was like, oh, she meant pubic hair. Right. Hair.
Ew.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. I was like, that makes sense. I was
not talking about pubic hair for the record, but anyway, it all depends on the activity, but it's not what I was talking about.
But that's what I was thinking about, was like paper getting stuck.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
No, I was talking about blowjobs in your actual hair, just to be clear.
I know, and you see, and that's what's amazing.
You can't aim with that shit. You can aim when you pee, but that's the only thing that thing is good for, is aiming for pee.
So I thought I got it. But you weren't talking about hair getting, or paper, like toilet paper, and that getting stuck in your pubic hair.
No, I was not.
So
not at all.
So not only did I not
happen?
get it the first time, but the second time, when I thought I had it, I also had it wrong, and then realized that you were talking about a blowjob.
No, baby wipe is down below. You never have that problem because you just got to use a baby wipe.
Is that what? Okay, see, I don't have the same equipment. I don't take care of things the same way. I wouldn't know that.
Next time we have a joke, Scott, let's really break it down for Dave. Like we'll make a fucking PowerPoint presentation.
There's a graph. And here's the point where it goes into the apex of the joke. And here's where the reference is. I need reference material. I just didn't. It went over my head. I was like, oh.
I wonder if anyone else at the table knew or they pretended to know, Scott. Were you and I the only ones that were in on the joke? Maybe it was just you and I in on the joke, and still to this day, like no one else.
My wife got it.
Your wife did get it. I'm pretty sure.
And
right?
you know, I have a habit, and I'm going to call it this, but I don't think it is. I have a habit of mansplaining jokes to her because she doesn't get a lot of the references. So I always feel like I'm like, oh, so that person was in this movie, or that joke's funny because of this. So when she's laughing with you, I was like, oh man, I should know what we're talking about.
She should have womansplained it.
She should have womansplained it and totally made me feel like an idiot. Yeah.
Well, you see, honey, when the cum comes out and it ends up...
Sometimes it sprays.
Well, look,
it'll get in your hair.
I'll be completely honest with you.
I don't know why we're saying this. He does not talk like that.
This is going to be.
That's what his wife sounds like.
No, it's not.
This is going to be breaking news for the After 9 podcast listener. I've never given a blowjob.
I don't believe that shit for a second. Just so you know,
I don't know.
I didn't know where that was going to go. That's great.
I don't know from certain heights and levels.
You wouldn't know.
No,
I understand that. No,
I'm going to ask John Global the same question about you, Dave.
That guy gives blowjobs every day.
I know.
I see it.
I heard your raise is pretty good. I don't know.
But honestly, so that angle for me would be completely foreign. Would not understand.
Right.
The hazards
that
come along with it, I guess.
Makes sense.
If you call it a hazard, it's really fine as long as you wear like goggles and gloves.
Because that's what you want.
Goggles and gloves. Nothing sexier.
Yeah. You want an Olympic swimmer down there.
You want like a scuba diver sucking you off.
Hang on, let me put the hair cap on. Yeah. All right, and go.
By the way,
sounding like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna come or what?
Warn me first.
I've been cradling the balls for like 20 minutes. Are you guys almost done?
We gonna fucking go here? Let's go.
You know what's hilarious, Kat, is when Dave first started coming in on the podcast, he was so prim and proper, and he's like, well, I gotta be the boss. Now he's talking about pubes and blowjobs.
I'm not
My
getting...
plan is working.
I'm not getting graphic.
All right, a whole bunch of different things. I do want to talk about sweaty boobs coming up in a minute. But first off, Kat revealed an interesting detail this morning on our FM radio show, Dave, when she pointed out she dedicated yesterday to a little bit of the lingerie shopping.
I did.
But it got fucking weird with another customer.
No, it did. It got weird. So I was at the mall, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I got to replenish the drawer. You know, why not? Get a few new things. And there's this like middle-aged woman that I think she was really pissing off the people that worked there, honestly, because she was asking a lot of questions. And the change rooms are shut down. So she was pissed about that. How come I can't? What do you mean? I don't know what bra is going to fit me. And they're like, well, that's why we measure you. Mm-hmm. So I kind of overheard her complaining, but I was picking out my stuff and I'm ready to pay. So I put it all on the counter. And she comes over into my bubble. And when I say into my bubble, she is right behind me.
Yeah.
And she starts talking about the stuff I'm buying. And
Oh,
she touched one of them. Who does that?
That's intimate.
And she was, maybe she thought she was trying to be nice. She's like, oh, these are nice. Like, there's a fucking bin of panties right over here that are for
don't
sale.
touch.
Don't touch the ones I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
Like, now I got to wash it in extra hot. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, thanks a lot,
Dip
lady.
it in the sanitizer at Waterloo Brewing.
It was the weirdest thing. And then she kept hovering. So I looked at the cashier and gave her a look like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And she said to the lady, like, oh, you know what? I'll help you in a minute. Can you back up to the line? There was a line on the floor. They did all the right things at this place, and she's supposed to stand there. I swear she took a half an inch step. Like, barely enough. She is breathing down my fucking neck. And she touched my panties.
Yeah, that's
weird. It was weird. It was really, really weird.
Well, at least
Did she do it in a sexy way?
No.
Like, did she lick her lips and look you in the eyes while she did it?
Yeah. This one has a strap.
What is
this one has a tie on the side.
Lacy.
These ones have pockets.
That would be odd.
I wish.
That would be odd. What do you keep, like a pocket watch in there? Like, how would you make that work? What do you mean a pocket?
Yeah, you put your money in there. I don't know. What do you put in there?
Like a coin purse? Like,
coin purse.
What do you?
Hang on.
Mini
I'm at the
flask?
lineup in Tim Hortons. Hang on. Let me get my panty purse. Hang on. Oh, I got a quarter in there. There you go.
I wonder if there's a market for that. If people would be looking for extra pockets in their underwear. Remember cargo shorts and the functionality of cargo shorts and pants, and people like,
everything.
There's extra pockets on it.
Yeah.
And now you're wearing tights and things like that, and there's no pockets. What are you supposed to do?
Girls go crazy for pockets. I'm sure your wife is the same way. If we have something with
Oh my
pockets,
God.
we get so excited because it's amazing.
You're so right, because she'll come home after shopping and go, and I got this dress and I got this, and she's showing me everything that she got, and she's like, and this one has pockets.
Yes,
and
you
I'm like,
have to tell someone it has pockets if it has pockets.
But she's like, isn't it great they have pockets? I'm like, yeah. She's like, but
Everything
look,
does.
There's one on each side. I'm like, yeah.
For the most part, the pants you guys both wear, I assume, always have pockets, right?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of
Yeah.
pants
But
that don't.
it's a big deal for us. So if something has a pocket, it's great.
I just don't imagine, like, when you're looking for like a form-fitting dress or something like that, do you really want bulky pockets?
Well, no. I
so
mean,
what the hell are you keeping in there then?
Well, why are we always wearing tight dress? We're not always wearing skin-tight clothes.
No, I'm not suggesting you should, but for the most part, they're close to form-fitting, I would think, in most cases. No?
Yeah, pockets are... Yes, I mean, sure, but then you don't need pockets, but it's nice to have pockets.
I can imagine the convenience would be a great bonus for you guys when you get them, because you're right, they don't typically have pockets. A lot of women's clothes don't. But I want to circle back here. What made yesterday the day you decided, time to get my dirty on? Let's go get some underwear.
No, hang on. What was it in the vein of I want to spice it up with some new stuff, or was it just I need underwear?
No, it was more spiced. I don't need underwear. I have a lot of underwear, but I just haven't gone lingerie shopping in a long time. So I was actually in the mall for a completely different reason, and I didn't even get what I needed.
She went to go to Cinnabon and ended up with La Senza. That's usually how it happens, folks.
I went to go get a birthday gift for my niece and nephew. Their birthday party's coming up, and I didn't get anything, and I didn't even get anything for them.
Hey, kids, check it out. Auntie Cat got panties with pockets.
Check out my thong.
Look at the pockets.
I can put my coins in there.
It's like a utility belt.
It's great. I don't know. Yeah, it was just, I was looking and they had a sale, and what else can I say?
You got drawn in,
twist
didn't
my
you?
arm. I would like some new stuff, and I got it. Yeah.
Buy one, get one 70% off. But if the second item is less than this, you're like, oh my God, the math.
3 for something, 5 for something, and whatever it was. So I ended up with 9. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, I like where this is going. So you've gone to the store. You've had a stranger feel up your panties. You have still bought these items regardless. You get home. What happens then? Do you unpack them and put them right in your drawer?
Hang on, Scott. Hang on. There's a step in between. Kat had a light bulb go off over her head while you were talking.
Truth be told, I was in a hurry. I had to go. I had to go pick up my daughter, so I left it in the bedroom. I left my bag of stuff in the bedroom. I didn't even unpack it when I got home. So my daughter, before bed, I was like, okay, you know what? You can watch a show in our bed before you go to sleep. So she was watching a show, and she comes out of the room with my bag of panties, and she starts picking through them. I'm like, Mommy, what's this? And my husband's like, what is this? Show me more. And she was looking through the bag, so she's the one that took it all apart. But I'm going to wash it. That's what I do. Tags off.
Now you got to wash your kid too. Like Because cross-contamination from the woman in
From
your
that
bubble.
woman? I know. So
Mommy, why does this one have a hole in the middle?
Who does that?
These ones are ripped. Take them back.
Okay, so when you get them out of the wash, before they go in the drawer, is there some sort of a fashion show of sorts?
Well, there might be.
Do you try them all on? Do you get your husband's perspective? Like, what do you think of these? What do you think of these?
He's
and if
not.
he has favorites, do you prioritize
Let me
them?
tell you something. That he is not picky. Like, he wouldn't. He would like certain things. He likes certain things. He doesn't give a shit as long as it's nice looking. He doesn't care.
Is he the kind of guy that enjoys the attention of a one-on-one show, or is it like he gets nervous or gets
yes,
embarrassed?
He enjoys it. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it's good. So, but does he say anything weird or funny along? Does he try to make it kind of loose and go like, where that underwear would look fantastic is on the ceiling fan? Like, does he say like weird things like that?
Sometimes. Yeah.
How does that work for you?
It's funny. It's fine.
Yeah?
It's fine. Yeah.
Bet you I could fling those out the window.
Yeah.
Like, things like that. Makes a game out of it.
Maybe he'll pick it up after the fact and pretend to floss with it. Shit like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Who doesn't do that?
All right.
Me? I see. And my go-to is to do, Scott knows this, but my go-to would be to make a joke out of it or to be funny, try to be funny about it.
Right.
And I would do something like, see if those would go well in the blender. Like just like odd things just to try to
weird
really
shit.
be odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to really, really take it up a notch.
And your wife appreciates that.
I'm sure she doesn't.
Now,
I'm trying to put on a show for you.
Yeah.
Would you just pay attention?
And I'm like, I'm trying to put on a show for you. It's a stand-up comedy.
You're doing a comedy show. She's doing a sexy show.
I stand up and I take a mic out of his mic stand and be like, what's funny about panties? And I just start doing a set. Have a little stool with a bottle of water on it. Oh, it's fantastic.
when you're going to do the fashion show, is there like a big proclamation like, honey, the show's starting in 5 minutes? And does he like run and jump into bed for this? Or does it take place in the living room? How do you show him what you got at the lingerie
Oh,
store?
yeah. It usually takes place in the living room, and then I coerce him into the bedroom.
Got
Really?
it.
You actually
Yeah.
like twist your ankle on a Polly Pocket or something like that? It's on the floor. You're like, oh, it's sexy, isn't it? Oh,
It's funny you say
Christ.
Polly Pocket, because that's exactly the shit I had to clean up yesterday. Polly Pocket everywhere, little fucking pieces.
In between your toes, and you're just trying to
No.
be sexy, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
The trail from the bedroom to the living room doesn't usually have any toys. So for the most, I think that would be funny, mind you, if I did. Or you just
picture
hear
it-
one of those like toy babies, like mama.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this definitely got less sexy.
I am not turned on anymore.
You stand at one of the, like, for some reason, I picture this like an old, like, cartoon. I don't know why, but you have a single roller skate in the hallway that's like the one that has the Velcro that goes over top of your shoe. When you just step in, I just see you like, follow me, and you walk and slide on the roller skate and just do a full ass over a tea kettle.
Eat shit
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
And you see, I would be like, this is the most entertaining show I've ever watched. I would die. I think it'd be funny.
As a man, wouldn't you be like, this is funny? Are you okay? We can still fuck, right?
Yeah, all the
You're
important
not
stuff's
that
still
hurt,
there, right?
You're not that hurt.
Your ankle looks like it's pointing the wrong direction, but you're still good to go, right?
You can just lay down. I'll
You
do all
can't
the
just
work.
you can't just leave me like this.
What an exciting day that would be for the paramedics when they show up and find you in a bra and panties with a foot that's turned
Twisted
completely
ankle.
the wrong way.
Ma'am, there's a hole in this, right?
Okay, let's switch gears here. Over in Europe, they are dealing with a big heat wave right now. It's really, really hot for places that aren't typically that hot. And that has led to a different kind of problem for a business owner in Ireland. He is Mattress Mick, and he owns a mattress store. And Mick has decided that his employees have been through enough. And one thing they sure as shit shouldn't have to deal with post-pandemic is the amount of women that are walking in with money stuffed in their bra or in their bathing suit top with their sweaty boobs. There's no way that their employee should have to take cash that's been in your sweaty cleavage. So he's put up a sign. No more sweaty boob money. It's banned. Banned, I say, in the store, according to Mattress Mick. Women do tuck. This goes back to the pockets issue. Women do tuck their money into their bras and their bathing suit tops all the time.
Money, cell phones. You see it at clubs a lot. Women just jam their phone in there, and I'm like, that looks incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Why don't you have pockets?
I mean, I know there's no proof, but that might cause cancer one day. Like, I'm not certain how that works, but it doesn't seem like you should do that.
Yeah, remember like the Bluetooth worries and things like that? And you're just like, let me just jam this right here. Right beside the areola. Just shove it in there.
What do you keep in your bra, Kat?
I don't do that. I don't do that. I have a purse, so I tend to use that.
What if you're on vacation and...
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
If you're wondering, yes. And vacation's a great example. A hotel key, some cash maybe, depending.
The locker key with the little orange elastic thing.
Sure. Like, whatever I can fit in there, I'll usually do it. Yes, that's true.
A flip-flop? Like, what are you trying to do? Whatever I can fit in there is fine.
Whatever I need to fit in there that's small enough.
If you have, so with kids though, do they hand you things that you've got to carry for them, and then you're just like jamming it in the bra? Like, is that what's happening?
Never. No. Again, I have a purse. I don't tend to need that because I'll use it.
But what if you're on vacation?
Again, vacation. I would have an over-the-shoulder bag if I had to. I'm not shoving too much down my bra. It just doesn't happen. I understand like a bill. Like I'm going somewhere and I don't want to carry a purse, ID, and a bill. I've done that before.
Scott, it feels like you and I are asking some very idiotic questions at this point.
Kat's podcast has been about Kat's tits. It's weird.
How do you idiots not know this stuff? I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Well, you're right about the club. That does amaze me. A lot of people shove a lot of shit down there. The bigger your boobs, the more you can get away with, too.
Is that true?
Yeah. If you've got big boobs, you can use your cleavage quite a bit. So it's just
to
basically
hold on to
a little.
things?
It's a little shelf. It's a nice little shelf.
It's like a little kangaroo pouch.
Keys, lip gloss, all of it will go in there. I've seen that before too, and I'm amazed.
So if a random hookup happens and the bra comes off, is it is it like a Sephora going to fall out? Is that what's going on?
It's like dropping a bag of money at the bank.
Basically.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of shit.
What's with all the nickels? Just got a bag of nickels in there. What?
Okay, so the sign says no bra money, and apparently the customers have had mixed reactions. Some people understand that the staff shouldn't have to be handed wet money. Wet money is gross. Other people are saying that's unfair because a lot of women's clothes doesn't have pockets. And me personally, I don't give a shit. What I'm wondering is, who the fuck goes to Mattress Mick and buys a mattress in cash?
In wet cash. This isn't Cabana. Like, you're not trying to buy a $300 bottle of Smirnoff here. Let's all just calm down.
I think we all know what kind of operation Mattress Mick is working. There's no way no way Mick is just selling mattresses. Because like Scott said, who shows up with... When was the last time? Last time I was at Sleep Country, I'm pretty sure it was credit card. I didn't have a wad of cash. It's not cheap to buy a mattress.
How dare you besmirch the good name of Mattress Mick? He did nothing in this story.
He has so many customers.
He's probably shady and sells drugs out of his mattress.
I believe it.
What are you talking about?
I believe it. There's no way you have that many customers that take money out of their bra to buy a mattress. Odd enough. That many that you have to put up a sign? Some shit is going down in that place. Or
what a leap.
Or they need a place to put their cash. Thus, they need a mattress. It's kind of like a circle that never ends. Like, I need to put this fucking money in a mattress. Can I buy a mattress? Not with that money. Well, I need something to put it in.
Need a couple of nightstands. Do you accept asshole change?
Hang on. Let me just push this one out.
There's a roll of quarters here. Hang on.
There you go.
It's a real chicken and egg scenario.
Yes, it
you
is.
have to keep your money somewhere. And Mattress Mick.
By the way, really? Money is disgusting. Do you know how many dirty, filthy hands? You know what's on your money every single day? If you use money, some people don't. There's everything from saliva to shit to cum on the money. And
drugs,
we're worried about boob sweat? Come on.
What would the equivalent be, Dave, to boob sweat? Like, would a guy keep it in their taint or something?
I guess I would comparably. I would say the nether region between the inner thigh and the main package. I guess
between the pelvis and the thigh.
Yeah, in
it
there.
gets good and sweaty on a hot day.
Probably closest, I would think.
Yeah, as long as nothing I hate this word, secretes out of that area, that it's...
Ew, secretes. If you're
Watch your mouth.
As long as there's no secretions.
Doc, I've got some pelvis secretions I need you to talk to me about. What can I take?
Well, you know what I mean? It's not this, because people were saying, oh, it's the same as putting it in my ass. I'm not. No, it's not.
No, it's
because
not.
there's things in that area that
You don't shit out of your boobs.
there's secretion happening there. Nothing is happening unless you're breastfeeding and you're leaking. Nothing is happening from the tits. So let's not compare that. Right?
Yeah. It's just, I guess it is just sweat.
It's sweat. That's it. It's like putting it under your armpit. Can't we?
But
just
it's
use-
still gross. I don't want any sweat.
not-
of any,
yeah.
Leave your sweat alone. Keep it away from me. I don't want it.
Go
I
to
don't want
another
it.
mattress store.
Yeah, go to Steve's Sweat Emporium. He takes sweaty cash over there for his garbage mattresses.
Sweat.
Steve's Sweaty Sofa's on sale now. We'll accept your grimy cash.
We'll take cash from anywhere in your body.
It's like a restaurant. You pay cash, it's 10% off. You're like, oh, all right.
Oh,
Ew.
right.
Guys, this morning was the opening ceremonies for the Tokyo Olympics, which are taking place for now in Japan. Do you think this is going to go right to the end with no issues, or are they going to have to call this a day? Because they have a low vaccination rate in Japan, and they've got rising cases. They are in the middle of a fourth wave over there.
So to answer your question, I don't think it'll happen without incident, but I do think they're going to try to hammer this thing through and just crawl to the finish line. They don't want to end it in the middle.
Right. They'll try anything, even if they have to change the rules. All of a sudden you can use weapons in karate. It's shit like that. Just get it over with quick.
You know what'll make karate a lot easier in judo? Just give them swords. And their distance.
We've decided to combine karate and fencing into one sport now, just to get it over with before there's any more infections.
I like it. I'm here for it.
There are 4 new sports this year. Karate is one of them. There's also sport climbing.
Yeah, it's rock climbing, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
Surfing and skateboarding are new. Baseball and softball are not new, but they haven't been there for a while. They're returning to the Olympics this year. But they did a survey and they asked people, in the name of creating a better made-for-television event, what sports are we not playing at the Olympics that you would like to see? This is an interesting list. Lacrosse was the number 1 sport not currently at the Olympics that people want to see. So that's good. 12% of the vote. Right behind that was bowling.
You don't like that.
I was thinking about bowling, and I quickly dismissed it in my head. When Scott asked the question, bowling's the first thing that came to mind, and then I went, no, it doesn't need to be an Olympic sport. If you can get drunk while you do it and be better at it when you're drunk, I don't think it belongs at the Olympics. And then some may actually argue that curling would fall under that category as well.
Right.
I'm a better curler drunk, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right? See, there's a lot of people like that. Darts is another one where you're like, all of a sudden, you're just hitting triple 20s left, right, and center, and you're like, I'm 3 sheets to the wind right now. Why am I playing so well?
Bowling was number 2, followed by American-style football, like NFL football.
I don't know if I want that. I don't know.
That's just going to be Team USA and nobody else. Screw that.
Well, you can make the same argument basically about basketball, too, but the other countries are putting up a good effort. They're basically fighting for second, but eventually the rest
I don't know this year.
Up.
I mean, some of these other teams developed Euroball in an amazing fashion, and they're actually challenging for it now. But that's the thing. When you introduce a sport that is so dominant in one country, it takes forever for everyone to catch up.
Yeah.
Like, how long has Team USA been dominant in basketball? It's been forever. And then now they're actually getting some competition, and it's an absolute shock if somebody other than them wins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, football, I don't know. I don't see it as an Olympic sport. And it's very weird because I think of football as a spectacle even more so than a sport, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's not just about the game. It's about everything around the game. The NFL is so good at marketing. Yeah, I don't know if that could be an Olympic sport or not. They also have to play a lot of games in a 2-week period. And typically football is played once a week because they say the athletes only have enough in the tank to go once a week.
Okay, compromise. What about like a flag football?
I don't know. You're not going to get Tom Brady playing flag football just to try and win a medal.
No, but then you're not seeing. That's another side piece of this argument is always, what about professional athletes? Should professional athletes be competing in the Olympics? I don't think Tom Brady should go to the Olympics. I would even venture to argue that the NHL players shouldn't play in the Olympics.
Really?
Yeah, they're professional players.
Okay, no, that's fair. If you're a professional, you've reached the height of the game.
But if they're the best of the best for that country, couldn't it be argued that they should be playing, regardless of what their current status is?
And and that is a great argument because on the flip side, as a fan watching, I want to see the biggest names play the sports. You know, I want to see the biggest soccer players in the world play soccer at the Olympics or the biggest tournaments in the world. Of course I want that. So I'm kind of arguing myself with the point, but to me it's like, well, then should pros even be there to begin with?
What would you guys think of dodgeball at the Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I'd watch that. I'd actually watch that.
You know what game you got to throw in? Can you throw in this one? If you're going to do dodgeball, do it like a biathlon kind of deal. You play one round of dodgeball, then you play the game where you sit on those little wheelie things. Remember that we used to play in gym class and nobody understood what they were? You had to sit on them and like play like floor hockey.
And try not to pinch your fingers?
Oh, that's, yeah. I mean, if you could come out of there with 5 fingers intact, you immediately win a gold medal.
Yeah. I like that.
We've all seen Tessa and Scott, for example, at the Winter Olympics just dominate in figure skating. Would you be in favor at the Summer Olympics of seeing roller skating the same way?
What can you do on... Okay, sorry. I'm going to be completely naive. What can you do on rollers? Sorry, roller skating community. Can you be fancy on roller skates, or are we just talking about racing roller skates? Like,
no,
it'd
be just like skating is at the Winter Olympics, except with roller skating, there could be relays, there could be races, or there's a lot of roller dancing that you can do. I mean, a lot of the same things that they do on ice skates, they can do on figure skates.
Okay.
I'd like to see roller derby.
That would be fun.
Roller derby would be fun.
Yeah, they're just
beat
rifling
the shit out of each other.
Yeah, just go. Like, lose some teeth at the Olympics. That sounds like fun. They need more events where you can lose your teeth.
Yeah, I concur.
Water skiing got a lot of votes. And then there's 2 more that I'm really, I don't know. Sumo wrestling. That was a one that got some votes. Do we want to see sumo wrestling at the Olympics? Or maybe I just don't know enough about sumo
wrestling. I'd rather just not see it at all.
You'd like it to be eliminated from your memory.
Please just go away.
No more ever.
Yeah.
And tug of war.
Tug of war.
I like that one.
Do you want to be the person who, when they get asked, what do you do for a living? I'm a professional tugger.
I just pull on rope. I pull really hard.
Yeah.
Just you? No, me and a bunch of people.
Me and like 7 other
a bunch
people.
of guys. We all just get together and tug.
We
stand in a line and just start tugging.
But here's the thing. Nobody would know questions to ask that person. Like, are you at the front? Are you at the back? Like, no, I'm in the middle. Oh.
Yeah, you want to be in the middle of the tug.
I'm a middle tugger?
Yeah. Is that good? Yeah.
What's the point? Make the other team fall over. Make the other people fall over. Tug harder than that.
We try to get the flag on our side.
Yeah.
Huh?
I feel like that's another one that would be better if you're drinking. Maybe we can have a different category of the Olympics where you're allowed to drink.
Okay, look, if tug of war gets into the Olympics, then you're one step away from when you have to chug a beer, put your head on a baseball bat, and spin around 10 times, and then run to your next thing. It's an obstacle course.
Might as well do that too. Why not?
I don't even know what that's called. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm on the tug team.
Tugs.
Yeah, I'm middle tugger. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, in all respect to those who do it. But then are we throwing in, things from the Highland Games? Like, I'm just going to rifle this tree. And you're like, that son of a bitch picked up a tree.
When they chop the shit down, they just
how's
chop
the guy
shit out of it
who
with
can
an axe?
how's the guy who can javelin an oak tree not in the Olympics? I don't care what event he gets a medal for. Put him in the Olympics. That's incredible.
There's people that can drag an airplane. Why aren't we celebrating that?
What about the
with
the
their
strongman?
teeth.
Yeah, the strongman competitions. If you don't lose your teeth in roller derby, you can try to pull a truck with it. That's amazing.
I love that.
See, should be like one event, and it's like extreme decathlon. With like parking lot volleyball, like just weird stuff like that. Like dive into an empty pool. Let's see how you do. Like just things like that. Let's go for it. Let's go extreme.
I like that.
Guys, this is a thread from Reddit, which is just a guilty pleasure of mine. There's so many great threads, and you can spend hours wasting time on Reddit. This one asked people about some of the... Actually, it was specifically asking doctors about some of the dumb things that their patients have said to them over the years. Some of these are unbelievable, Kat. One doctor says, a guy showed up at the ER, and he had a minor cut, but there was red powder all over his hands. Turns out the guy put paprika on it to stop the bleeding.
Oh, that's smart.
Isn't it? You put paprika on a cut because what? WebMD told you to? Did Google tell you? Did you even get that from a reputable site?
They thought it was WebMD, but really it was a recipe site.
Yeah.
Sprinkle paprika.
Easy cooking. Oh, no wonder it didn't work. I didn't use smoked paprika. That was the mistake.
One lady called her doctor to ask if her hemorrhoid cream would still work while she was away on vacation because she had read that you're supposed to apply it locally.
Oh, no.
So dumb.
Aw.
Like, so dumb.
To me, that's like you can't even make fun of that. That's just
Sad.
that's sad that you didn't know that that's what it meant.
This nurse says, my doctor friend who works in the ER had a patient come in with a few cloves of garlic stuck in her vagina.
What?
Because she had read on the internet that garlic will help cure a yeast infection.
You know, going back to the hemorrhoid cream for a second here, that kind of reminds me of when you see like external use only. So she's sitting in her backyard putting hemorrhoid cream on, being like, it says external only. I can't put it on in the house. Yeah, like only outside is what she took away from that. So garlic cloves in the vagina will cure a yeast infection? What website are these people going to?
Yeah, what site is this? This is someone having a great time with some fake website, just like thinking up shit like, put paprika in the cut. Yeah, put paprika in the cut.
Is there a thing where if you Google, you'll get a certain answer? If you Bing, you get a different answer? Like, is that what's happening here? Maybe these people are Binging and getting terrible suggestions.
The wrong thing to do, yeah.
This from another doctor. Once I was talking to a patient who was diabetic. The patient had read on the internet that cinnamon controls your blood sugar. So he stopped taking his diabetes medication and relied purely on cinnamon instead. It cost him his big toe. It had to be amputated due to his diabetes.
Oh, my God.
Can we just stop trying to take shortcuts?
Honestly.
And also, I think it's possible it's time to just get rid of the internet.
Maybe it's time to shut her down for a bit, right?
Yeah.
I think it's time that we all come together and say this was a failed experiment. If people are using cinnamon and then losing their big toes,
it's not good.
Maybe it's not meant for everybody. Maybe that's the case. Maybe not everyone should have just unfettered access to information or misinformation.
This doctor says, I had a patient with diabetic foot ulcers who read on the internet that salt would dry up those ulcers. So he put his foot in 2 plastic shopping bags with rock salt and basically turned his feet into prosciutto.
Cured meats?
That's really gross.
Salami toes.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, that's so off-putting, isn't it?
That's so gross.
One doctor said,
how long were his feet in there for? Does it say?
In the bag? Yeah. I get the impression they were in there for quite a while.
Like living there
enough
for a while?
Yeah, like enough to cure his feet, but not cure of the disease, like cure it. Like
Maybe that's what he was reading about. See? It's miscommunication.
Cured meats, he thinks it means that they're disease-free.
Cured toes, same
Wow.
shit, right? No.
Oh, that's incredible. Humans are fascinating, aren't they?
Are fascinating.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Here's a woman who had read that drinking your own pee had a lot of health benefits. So she did. And while that may or may not be true, she only drank her own pee and then ended up hospitalized with some serious kidney issues.
That's what I'm saying about hearing like these doctor stories too. Like they must just be sitting here looking at them going, okay, just laws of deduction here.
Yeah.
You thought this was going to be a good idea.
You've been doing what? You drank what?
Why?
What?
Yeah.
How does that work? Do you like pee into like a jug and put it in the fridge, or
Are you asking us like we should know? We don't know.
She goes and buys like one of those plastic jugs from the milk store, empties it out, doesn't drink the milk because that's disgusting. Let me go ahead and piss in here and then swig it around a little bit, and we'll just see how it goes.
One doctor talks about when a baby had a really bad diaper rash. So mom brought the baby in, and the doctor was trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this baby's skin, like specifically on its butt and on its privates. And then finally mom said, well, wait a second. I have been pouring water into their diapers before I put the diapers on. And the doctor said, well, why would you do that? Why would you wet the diaper before you put it on the baby? She was under the impression you were supposed to do that because every commercial for diapers has people pouring liquid into them.
Oh, my God. The blue liquid to show absorption?
Someone needs to take that baby away from that. woman.
Yeah.
This is why I truly believe we need to start being able to, like, handing out license to have kids.
Parenting licenses.
Like,
There
honest
you
to
go.
goodness, it is so sad. And that is one example of many. At least she figured it out. How many people are doing, like, that's terrible. Like,
You need
that's
3
terrible.
steps to be allowed to drive a car.
Honestly, though.
And you're going to raise a child.
Yeah, a human being, and putting water in the diaper, thinking that's got to be right. For what reasons would that be right?
Isn't that's the person who reads a headline and thinks they know the story, or reads
Right.
half a headline and thinks they know the story? See what I mean about humans being fascinating? Like, how did that end up there in that person's mind? How did they get to that point and go, huh? Well, that's why they put the blue water in there.
I would want to call child services on that person, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that is not right. You want to cure your own foot, that's one thing. But now you're putting a baby in jeopardy.
Yeah.
This doctor says, I had a patient who was leading a fairly unhealthy lifestyle. He was doing that because he had read that people from the negative blood group are born genetically stronger and immune to diseases.
Oh, come on. These stories are making me mad.
That's
Like,
Pack-a-day smoker, no problem. Drink as much as you want. If you've got negative blood, you are immune to everything.
They're walking around among us. Like, isn't that the worst part?
their vote is equal to mine. Like, what? Come on. Come on. And I don't say that with a sense of superiority. I say it with a sense that I know not to put my foot in a bag of salt to try to cure toe fungus.
Okay, we got to wrap it up, guys. We are.
I'm glad we ended on a positive note. I'm livid now.
Dave's gonna go punch a wall.
So mad. So mad right now.
I'm sorry, Dave. Why don't you go home to your big new house with the pool and
Oh,
relax?
wow.
Did you? Okay, let's end it on this then. And I hope it's not a bad note either. Did you get Jay's tickets after all that? Because yesterday, you had been trying to get your hands on some Jay's tickets.
Yeah.
Did it work out?
Well, I went on because yesterday was the day they all went on sale.
Uh-huh.
And I did not. I could have, but I was like, I don't want to pay $140 for tickets for a game in August, other than just to say I'm excited to go to a game. It felt like they jacked the prices on them to try to make up
Sure
for,
they did.
there's only 15,000 people allowed at the game. It just seemed like a headache. I'll probably still get tickets at some point throughout the season. And my wife was like, well, if you want to go to a game, I'll buy some tickets. And I went, oh, okay, well, I'm glad I didn't then.
Yeah,
She's gonna buy tickets.
Well, now you got a nice present.
That's
Good
right.
for you.
Yeah,
You figured it out.
I didn't. I could have, but did not.
So, speaking of baseball, now that they've had that experience, a little bit of last year, a little bit of this year, how many Buffalo residents do you figure, starting August 9th, are coming up to Toronto to see their team playing?
Ah, interesting.
I'm going to guess very few. And tickets, by the way, in Buffalo were $14.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're charging 10 times that amount just because they're back at Rogers Center, that's a little crazy if you ask me.
Yeah, it was like $66 for a ticket before any services and taxes and all that, all those fees. And that was to sit out in like the foul area past first base.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
fuck off.
like outfield
Really?
seats. And I'm like, oh, I want to sit closer.
Yeah.
I want to sit behind the dugout.
I'll just watch from home. Fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Back to what we've been doing all along. Back to the TV.
Now that I can go, I don't want to. That's basically it.
I don't want to pay that.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't.
I want to go to a game. I
don't-
want to go to a game for 15 months. I want to go to a sporting event. Now that I can, I'm like, I'm going to stay home and watch it on my 4K TV. Who needs it?
It's too expensive, and beer is 10 times the price as it is at home.
But
Yeah.
did I not go through a similar situation last weekend? I was in Niagara Falls. Same thing. I'm like, I'm going to a bar. I'm just going to have drinks. I got my bill for like 2 drinks a pop. $64. Fuck this. I'm going to drink from home from now on.
I have Glenfiddich at home. And you're like, what's the
I
point?
can buy a whole big bottle for this price.
I'm just staying home from now on.
Guys, we are off for a bit next week, but there will be probably a couple new episodes next Thursday and Friday. In the meantime, the archives are all there. Go back, and there's over 400 episodes of After 9 that you can check out. Guys, have a great weekend.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too.
you too.
Guess what's finally here? The Summer Olympics kickoff. This is a big deal. The official motto for this year's Olympics is United by Emotion. Yeah, and the unofficial motto is, as of right now, we're still doing this. Muffins sold at Walmart and 7-Eleven have been recalled over concerns about listeria. Walmart apologized while 7-Eleven just slapped on a sticker that said listeria flavor. I saw that Amazon's Alexa just rolled out a male voice assistant, and his name is Ziggy. Right now, Jeff Bezos is thinking, I go to space for 11 minutes and you name the voice Ziggy? What's going on?
Lawmakers in Las Vegas have voted against a measure that would impose a mask mandate on tourists visiting the Strip because, hey, you're there to gamble.
The After 9 podcast is powered by Tony Johal, broker at RE/MAX Twin City. Your home sold guaranteed or he'll buy it.